Hey, it's your girl Nay. If you're new here, welcome. If you're true here, welcome back. Grab a snack, have a seat. We've got some things to talk about. Sometimes I wonder what I did to deserve you. Girl, I just wanna love you. In today's video, I'm going to teach you how to get over people quickly, easily, for the most part, and most importantly, efficiently. I want to acknowledge that nothing that I'm saying is a theory. It has all been in practice. Especially when I was in college and my later years in high school, guys liked me but also hated me because I was able to detach from them very fast to the point that it would lead them to believe I never liked them in the first place. And when I thought about it, I was like, what did I do? Why was I so nonchalant? And I always remembered really, really liking these people, but by the time it was over, it was done. And in most cases, I was happy it was over. How did I get that level of attachment? What is it that I thought, felt, without actually having to consciously tell myself to do these things? And for you, I have a list. Number one, I never liked anyone enough to abandon myself. You literally are the program. They do not exist in your life if you choose to not allow them to exist. And I want you to always remember that. It doesn't mean you don't desire people. It does not mean that you are Cruella de Vil. Someone called me that before, but it doesn't mean that you are just, this mean villain person. But people only villainize you when you don't move according to what they want you to do. Not self-abandoning means that you are never placing anyone over your own self-respect and your own internal moral compass and your own values for what you desire for your life. No one should ever be worth your peace and your ability to simply walk away. Number two, I didn't fall in love with potential. Exactly what they showed me is what I believe to be true. The few times that I did get caught up and hung up on someone was because I did the exact opposite. I saw their potential and I believed in it so strongly that I held on to that despite what they said and what they did. But for all the others, I dated exactly who was in front of me and not who I hoped they would be. A matter of fact, I removed hope from it. Number three, I left early without shame. I did not negotiate my non-negotiables. Once I saw bad behavior that I knew I wasn't willing to put up with, lying, joking with me in a mean way and calling it a joke and just saying, oh, you can't take a joke, anything that suggested physical abuse, and this is also coming from someone who's made the mistake and not listened to my instinct and found myself in a physically abusive relationship once in my life. Yeah, no. And I again saw the signs. I even asked a friend, what do you think about this? And she said, that's not fair for you to judge him based on what he saw and experienced as a child. But statistics say that actually increases the likelihood of you being in one of those yourself. And I saw that this probably doesn't make for a good mix, and I stayed anyways because I really liked him, and I ended up in a domestic situation which I left. But nonetheless, it could have been avoided because I saw the signs and I decided to not listen to my discernment. Stop gaslighting yourself to stay. Stop thinking that people are going to say, oh, you're being too harsh, you're too strict, you're never going to find somebody. I'd rather be alone than to settle. And I hope you feel the same way. Not having a man is better than having a man that meets you halfway, if not less, for everything that you want in your life. You are literally lowering the quality of your life just to say you have somebody. And do you really have them? This is not to say there's not such thing as being too harsh. There is such thing as being too harsh. But if it's because it's going against your non-negotiables and your morals and your values, there's no such thing as being too harsh. This is your life. You get to choose who stays and who goes. Number four, I did not future cast. Something that worked to my benefit is the fact that as a child, as a young girl, I never desired marriage and or having children. Therefore, when I was with someone, I never sat here and thought, oh my gosh, I could marry this person or they could be the father of my children, and hold on to that thought so harshly or so strongly that I looked over a bunch of other things in hopes that this would be my future. And if you are a young girl or a woman who is marriage minded and does want children, focus on your goals. There's always something to achieve and obtain. The true Capricorn in me, there is always something to achieve and obtain. So if you break up with a guy and you had all these hopes and plans and whatever for a future with them and it doesn't work out, find some goals and start working on those goals. I'm not saying that you shouldn't sit with the feelings, that you should ignore them and kind of try to cover them up with things to do, but there should be a time and a place to unprocess that, and hopefully with a professional that can help you if you feel like that's not something you could do on your own. Journaling won't help, whatever the case may be. I promise you, as much as y'all don't want to do it, the gym, going for a run, a walk, always makes you feel better. Talk to yourself, talk to God, talk to a trusted friend. But I absolutely will always support therapy as well. Even with the right partner, marriage and motherhood will set your goals back. Don't future cast. Pay attention to what's happening right here so that you are not blinded by what it could be if that person is not even feeling the need for what you need right now, much less what they could be in the future. There's no such thing as marriage is going to fix the things that are already an issue. This is coming from a divorced woman. I have always paid attention to what people do versus what they say. And here's another little cheat code from me to you. I always go with the lesser of what they do and or say. Let me explain myself. If a man says he's not looking for anything serious, but he treats me well, we go out to eat regularly, he buys me nice things, maybe we go on a trip, maybe he talks about little things, me meeting his kids if he has any, or his parents, or whatever, or they love to say, you'll see, you'll meet him, when you this, when you that, when we this, when we that, but you told me you're not looking for anything serious. I'm going to pay attention to what he said. And on the flip side, if he did less but said more, we all know pay attention to the less, right? Pay attention to the actions. Actions do speak louder than words, but also I have found that when I pay attention to, I'm not ready for more, but I like you so much, and then they start future casting on me, it's to get you to stay right here, right now, so that they can continue to get the benefit of what they want right now. And I'm not putting it just towards men. Quiet as it's kept, I've dated women as well, and they've done the same things. However, I do feel like it can be a little bit more malicious when it comes to men. From my experience, women catch feelings way faster, so they might not mean to go to the extent of what they're saying, but feelings are kind of leading, and then they tend to do that. Let's get back on topic. In essence, even if the man is generous and kind, do not confuse generosity with commitment. Do not confuse a quality character of a man with commitment and or longevity. The only thing that will promise longevity is actual longevity. Obviously, if his actions and his words don't align, they mean nothing, regardless of which side, which coin we flip. Men didn't particularly like this one, but number 6, I never forgot I had options. I understand that many men do not like when women date multiple men or multiple people. I understand that many women do not like dating multiple people. That's okay. You don't have to date multiple people to remember that you have options. Never allow wanting someone blind you from remembering I don't have to be here if I don't want to. That's literally what choice is about. And that's why in my relationships, when a man asks me, do I need or want a man? I'm always going to go with I want to want a man because I want you to want me. I understand. I'm no fool. There are other pretty women out here. As pretty as a man might think I am, more attractive as a man might think I am, there's another one that looks better. And you have to have the mindset that I could have you or I could have them, but I choose you. And the same way, that's my personal preference. But for you, never, you ever, baby girl, never forget that you have options, because you absolutely do. Scarcity thinking that no one else wants you, is where attachment happens, where that bond, because you don't think that you can get anyone else. You don't think who's gonna want me now? I've literally heard women say that. Excuse you. We can fight. Don't say that about yourself. Don't do it. This point leads me to number 7. Take care of yourself. Like, your quality of life is absolutely tied to your self-maintenance. How you feel and perceive yourself. And how you feel and perceive yourself is also modeled by how you have treated yourself throughout the years? Have you let yourself go? You're not there's no way you're prioritizing yourself and you've let yourself go. Everyone does not need to be a size 2 or a perfect size 6. Even if you're a 12, if you feel good, if you look good, if you're coming out the house, you're happy, you're put together. Even if you don't wear makeup, skin is on point, then you are always going to have options. You are always going to be desired. When you take care of yourself physically, emotionally, mentally, all the above, spiritually, you will never lack options. And do not get me wrong, male attention is not in itself a compliment, because any man can approach you, even the ones that know that they can't handle you. Even if you are a high maintenance woman, there are going to be men that have no business trying to approach you, and they are still going to try to shoot their shot, because audacity comes with their packaging. However, the way that you treat yourself will set the standard, will set the standard for how others treat you, men and women alike, if you want to be honest. Men who realize they cannot upkeep you will simply exit, or you don't have to wait for them to exit. You can exit. We're not doing this. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Goodbye. This next one is going to trigger the financially insecure men or financially insecure people, because again, to be fair, I have dated women, but I've never encountered women having this issue. I'm just going to say it. You do not allow someone to access you for free 99. Men love to reference it as escort behavior and the P word. And they can call it whatever they like. You can call it whatever you like. Investment does not necessarily equal money. Well, it doesn't always. Let's say always. It doesn't always equal money. Investment is also time, consistency, longevity. Of course, it includes money, spending money. Doesn't mean you have to put it in my hand? No. Doesn't mean after we've been intimate that I expect a gift right away? No. I expect you to do it because you like me. I expect flowers because I said I like them, just because it's a Wednesday and you thought of me. I expect that. It's literally not free for me to live in my own body. It's not even free for me to be in here. Why should it be free for you? I couldn't imagine myself being with a man that sees me upkeep myself, pays all my bills, anything I want, I purchase it. And he doesn't think to myself, let me buy her some flowers. How much were your nails this time? I've met a man that did that after the first date. Now, don't get me wrong, money is not everything on its own either. Some men think the more they put out, the more access and or control they have over you. So I'm not saying expect an outlandish amount, especially right off the bat. However, am I saying that they should be investing in you? They absolutely should. It's about willingness and capability. Last but not least, always remember that you are the program. This is quite literally your life, and you get to say what happens in it and what doesn't happen in it, who stays, who goes, etc., etc., etc. How can someone else come in your world and say, you act like the world revolves around you? Well, in my world, it does. And you don't have to be here if I choose to not let you. You literally don't exist to me if I choose to not let you. Please remember that the power is in your hands. This is quite literally, and I cannot say this enough, your life. In a book by Napoleon Hill called Outwitting the Devil said, I owe no one anything more than I owe myself happiness. And if I want to say if women could remember that, but if people in general could remember that, he wouldn't be able to get them to do, I forgot what he called it, but he wouldn't get them to, but he wouldn't be able to get them to get off track if they would just focus on doing the things that they set out to do because they decided that's what's going to make them happy. All of these lead to a healthy level of detachment. All of these were things that I exercised without even realizing I was exercising it. However, I want to put a disclosure. None of this stops you from genuinely liking someone. None of this will stop you from actually hoping that this can be more, which means if it doesn't work out, it will not prevent a bit of pain. It will not prevent some disappointment. However, for majority of the people that I've talked to, getting to know, and those who I genuinely liked, majority of them, I could literally think of only 3 that it took me a minute to get over. Other than that, 2 weeks. 2 weeks. And we're talking about from high school, college, and I'm in my 30s now. I'm entering my late 30s. Okay. So it works. It does work, and it's going to take time. Detachment is not about being cold. It's about being rooted in you and what you've got going on in your life, what you want for your life, and who's going to give it to you? You. So therefore, you need to be in the front of the line always. Okay? All right. That is it for this video. If you enjoyed, please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know which part resonates with you the most. Matter of fact, let me know which part you actually need to work on the most. Let's get the conversation going down below. Until next time, I love you for watching.